Every day, it seems the world's foundation is shifting. The only thing we can count on is that we can barely count on anything. On Wall Street, it's called the Volatility Index. At Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey, we just call it business as usual. For decades, Federation has been the institutional pillar addressing the most urgent needs in our community. Our roots run deep and continue to grow.
So we have supported Federation from the time we moved to Teaneck in 1974.
When I was a kid, all I knew was Federation. And so when it came time when Steve and I moved into this area, there was never any question. It was Federation.
Honoring the legacy, the commitment, the sacrifice of my parents' parents, of what was meaningful for them from a philanthropic perspective, the Federation means a lot to me.
My family moved to Upper Saddle River in 2019. We had a hard time establishing a Jewish presence here outside of our synagogue. I was fortunate enough to meet Shara Nadler. It was almost like getting a big warm hug from the community, a big welcome that we had been missing since we moved here pre-pandemic.
Federation prides itself on being nimble, quickly directing resources to emerging needs whenever and wherever they appear. And during the most challenging of times, Federation confronts extreme hardships with remarkable speed and effectiveness. How's that possible? Because Federation is here every day and every month of every year.
And Federation, as we have seen in this latest Ukrainian crisis, is the only organization that's equipped to deal with crises as they come up, whether abroad or in Israel.
But we're not just here in times of crisis. In reality, we're mostly focused on tackling critical daily needs that don't make headlines.
The work is phenomenal.
To provide services that we as individuals would not be able to provide.
The food drive, the sock drives, the packets of food for the children to take home over the weekends, these are real needs in our community.
Federation remains the only one that takes care of the greater and entire Jewish community.
Federation supports those less fortunate, here, in Israel, and around the globe. It is a tremendous undertaking, and is clearly demonstrated since the start of the Ukraine war. If Jews are in need, we are there for them.
Federation continues to make its mark in Israel. We have our sister city, Nahariya, and it is something I'm very proud of that Federation does, and something that is really important to me.
Israel is an important place for the two of us. It was one of our first big trips that we took as a couple. And while we were in Israel, we actually put a wish in the wall to start a family. The support that Federation has for Israel is meaningful to us on many levels.
And Federation's commitment to building and sustaining a strong Jewish community is evident in the programs offered for babies, teens, adults, seniors, and everyone in between.
When we first moved here and our kids were little, I called Federation and signed up with Shalom Baby and signed up with PJ Library.
The Federation's there for all stages and aspects of life to serve our community.
Another challenge we face is the explosive growth of anti-Semitism, hate, and bias, especially on college campuses. Federation maintains a strong relationship with elected officials and law enforcement to ensure our concerns are heard, our needs are met, and that we are safe.
I signed my kids up for the ICANN program so they can learn and get the language to defend Israel, to defend Judaism, and to feel confident in themselves and in their beliefs.
It's comforting to know that there are organizations like the Federation that have our back, that we can reach out to if something occurs.
We recognize the importance of protecting our institutions, the JCC, the temples that we belong to, and the Federation's role in supporting our community's safety and the security of our family is really important to us.
However you connect to being Jewish, there is a place for you at Federation. Federation meets people where they are, and Federation builds relationships that last a lifetime.
That's why I choose Federation.
That's why Federation is important to me.
This is why my family chooses the Federation.
That's why Federation is important to me.
And that's why we choose Federation.
Absolutely.